Hello, everybody. Douglas Waltz, Old Man Comic Book Reviews. We got a double issue. It's called We Didn't Do It Last Week. We're doing twice as many comic books. Alright, so let's just dig in, shall we? First up is A Strange Academy Finals, number 5. Scotty Young's writing it. Humberto Ramos is drawing it. And it's we like to refer to this as it hitting the fan. They're having a graduation type of ceremony. All the kids are there, and everything seems to be going just fine until Dormammu shows up. And I'm not sure why they made beefy Dormammu. I'm not used to Chunkalicious Dormammu. Any sound effects you hear are being supplied today by the dog Flower, who has decided who was quiet all day long until we turn the camera on. Anyways, so we got the good guys, the bad guys. There's a big fight going on, and we get to watch a big magic fight. It's actually kind of cool. So I don't know how much longer we're going to get to keep this, but it's funny for me because the villain girl, they are going to stop her because they called her parents. Remember, it's still an academy. So that was pretty funny. Alright, Daredevil number 9. Chip Zdarsky, Manuel Garcia. Chip's the writer, Manuel's the artist. We're still in the Red Fist saga. We had a big fight with the dragon last issue, as you may or may not remember. His band of people are starting to faction. They're leaving, some are staying, and then they get to be attacked by the bad guys, and quite possibly the Avengers and Spider-Man. So it's pretty good. It's a weird Daredevil. This is a weird arc for Daredevil. I like City Daredevil. I don't like big epic battles Daredevil, but what are you gonna do, right? Barbarella number 2 with the subtitle "The Center Cannot Hold." Writer is Sarah Hoyt. Artist is Ricardo Bagani. We left Barbarella last with a giant bunny man who thinks he's 007, and they are trying to bring peace to his planet. Unfortunately, the architects of what did they call them? I'm just going to call them the architects of the galaxy, basically. Who is Vix, her little friend, is one of them. So, kind of weird. And they all talk about what the architects had done to them. This is always a good book. The big winged fella, whose name escapes me at the moment. Let me see. Oh, it was Architects. Look at that. Let's see if I can find his name. The big winged fella. There's always got to be a big winged fella. Taln. And Taln and Vix may be incurring a mind meld shortly, so we'll see how that goes. Dead Boy Detectives number 4. We have that man who, if someone wants to tell me if I'm saying his name wrong, you go right ahead, but Pornsak Pichote is the writer. Javier Rodriguez is the guest artist. I can't think of any other way to say the first name. It's Pornsak. That sounds like porn sack to me. And so our ghost detectives are sneaking in to see what happened in last issue when we had the proverbial shit hit the fan. And one of our dead boy detectives is not looking any better. He's kind of falling apart at the seams there. The Snake Boy is being kind of a tool, and we may have lost one of our dead people. They may have died again. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but it's a good book. I like this. When they were in Sandman, it was one of my favorite parts of Sandman. Oh, and number 1. This is from last week. Here we go. The Unstoppable Doom Patrol. You give me a Doom Patrol, I'm going to buy it. So we have Dennis Culver as our writer. Chris Burnham is our artist. I love when they give us a little roll call. We know who's here. Robot Man, Negative Man, Elasti-Woman, the Chief, and introducing Beast Girl. The Chief is actually one of Jane's aspects. The real Chief has been dead for a while, and they're not bringing him back anytime soon. So this has to do with Lazarus, something or other that I didn't buy. The Doom Patrol's in town to look for a special person. They're looking for a metahuman. My favorite thing is she's really hard to see. The little antelope, furry, pink thing here. Beast Girl. Her power is the best power you could possibly have. It triggers the primordial fight or flight aspect of your brain. And most people that live in a modern day society have absolutely no fight in them. So they all just run screaming, peeing their pants. So, and of course we also have the Monsieur Mala and the Brain Fella, who's just calling him Brain. And there's also a bad guy, the General. There's a new villain who is made out of little creatures, I guess, and they form into a big creature. There is a Batman cameo because it's DC, so that's how it works. It's for Doom Patrol. It's Doom Patrol. It's not as quirky as I like my Doom Patrol, but it's not bad. I do like that the metahuman thereafter is just a tool. He is not a good person. So, and then Peacemaker shows up as well because, you know, he's got that great show that everyone should watch. And, yep, it's Doom Patrol. That's what it is. This is the Unstoppable Doom Patrol. So, that was last week. Let's get into this week's books. Yes, we're going to get into this week's books. The Amazing Spider-Man number 23. Written by Zeb Wells. Drawn by, well, penciled by John Romita Jr., inked by Scott Hanna. We finally, after first issue, when Peter woke up in a crater, we are back at the crater. And it's showing us what he went through when he got out of the crater, things we did not see right away. He goes to talk to the Fantastic Four because he's trying to save MJ from the weird symbology universe. Fantastic Four try to give him grief, so he leaves. Captain America tries to give him grief, so he punches him. My favorite thing that he did was the Cap does his basic shield thing. Boom, like that. Peter puts his hand out like this. Boom, his hand's on the shield. Cap goes to come back like this. Shield doesn't move. He's Spider-Man. He pulls the shield back and smashes Cap with his own shield. So, people constantly are forgetting that Spider-Man is one of the strongest things in the universe. So, this is good. He goes to talk to Norman Osborn to get things fixed. I would never talk to Norman Osborn about fixing anything. So, here we are, Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty. Writers are Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly. Artist is Carmen Carnero. I like that they've kept the same team all this time. Last issue, Roger died. Roger was the Destroyer from World War II. Old man was able to beat MODOK at his own game. I like that they're playing with the big giant gatefold pictures, where you get pretty gatefold pictures, and they're going to have to take down Bucky. MODOK's already kind of in big trouble because they're able to take out MODOK with no problem, and we'll see where this goes. I'm sad that they killed the Destroyer, but it's the Marvel Universe, so you never know how that works. Steve Rogers asked Sharon Carter to move in with him, so that was kind of sweet. And his son shows up, Ian. I don't know who that is. So, ta-da! Well, I'm saving this one for last. Let's do the other ones. All right, Ghost Rider number 13. This has been a really great run of Ghost Rider. No, they're not canceling it. Benjamin Percy is the writer. Corey Smith is the penciler. Oren Jr. is the inker. Johnny and Talia showed up in Savannah, Georgia with a huge demonic energy surge. We find out it's Danny Ketch, the other Ghost Rider. This woman is trying to do experiments with him and separate the spirit from the man. So he might be murdering people. This issue has a very bad burn victim in it. It's a little unsettling. The whole series has been some unsettling stuff. The artwork is meant to do that to you. You're supposed to be like, oh. So, yeah, it's good. And my favorite thing, they're trying to tap in to the bad guy Ghost Rider with the weird helmet. This guy. And the first girl that tries it picks up the signal and collapses with blood shooting out of her mouth. The girl who's used to demonic stuff, it makes her vomit. And Johnny turns into Ghost Rider when he hears it. So he's the only one that can take it. And so next issue, I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting a Johnny Cage, right? Johnny Cage. Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch. Mano a mano next issue. Okay. Next up, we have Nightclub by Mark Millar and Juanan Ramirez. Juanan. We're gonna go with that. They're the vampire guys, and they save people from this building collapsed on them. And unfortunately, when the paramedics show up, vampires don't have a pulse. Even if they're walking and talking, and when they go outside, they catch on fire, and cops panic and shoot you 5 times in the chest. But you're fine because you're a vampire. So this is a lot of fun. I like this book. The guy that turned them all into vampires shows up to save the day, sort of. He's really not happy with them being superheroes. They like being superheroes, though. So we'll see how he takes to that. The thing that's most interesting about this is a standard comic book. What are those? 22, 23 pages. This is put out by Image? Image, yes. Okay. I had to look for the Image. It's way down there in the corner. It's $1.99. So why are the big boys charging me for the exact same comic book $3.99? I know they can afford it. They got all that movie money. So, anyways, Nightclub. It's up to issue 4. You can probably find the back issues. It's worth a read, and you won't break you at the same time because it's $2 a pop. All right, final book. We had to wait a week because this, for some reason, sold out. And it's Jeff, the little shark from Deadpool, got his own book by Kelly Thompson and Gurihiri. It's an online book. There's an online story. So it's like 1-2 page. Artwork is gorgeous. Very, very cute. There is no dialogue. Once in a while you hear somebody say Jeff's name out loud. He hangs out with Kate Bishop a lot. He's not allowed to go swimming in pools. He scares a cat away so he can get a fish, but then he sees that the cat has babies, so he gives the cat the fish. He likes ice cream. He likes to swim in the cold sometimes, so Iceman will come over and make the pool cold for him. He ate the Infinity Gauntlet at one point. It was in his tummy when they went to X-ray him. So it's just 1-2 pages. It's Jeff hanging out with superheroes and Kate Bishop, and he goes to parties, and he's so freaking cute. It's still going on. If you want to read more of it, Infinity Comics. The whole second season is available on Marvel Unlimited. I'm not going to pay for that. I'll wait till they put them all in one book like this. This one was $5.99. It is an all ages book, so it's good for the kids. There we go. So those are the comic books. Okay, so one last thing before we go to the end stuff. I went to the library and I decided to pick up Doomsday Clock. For those who don't know, it's where DC, because they don't want to give Alan Moore any of his characters back, integrated the Watchmen mythos into the DC universe. Jeff Johns is the writer. I like Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns is a good writer. Gary Frank is an illustrator, trying to mock our original illustrator, whose name escapes me. You know, shoot me, I forgot. This is awful. It's very pretty to look at. There's some interesting things going on in it. They do the 9-panel thing for a very long time, unless they don't want to. They fill the front of every issue with just nonsensical things that there's. I'm not reading this. This isn't comic book. This is you putting stuff in here. So the concept of what they did here, I know why they did it. It was to keep the characters under creative licenses so that they don't lose any of the Watchmen characters. Seeing them interact with the DC universe, meh, who cares? I didn't really care. I read it all in one sitting just to get rid of it. By about halfway through, the irritation was just beyond me. But I'm like, well, you can't say anything till it ends. What if they end it really good? The only thing I really liked is they mentioned this actor who does this series of movies back in the 30s, the Nathaniel Dusk series. Nathaniel Dusk is a great comic book by Gene Colan for DC. It's about a private eye named Nathaniel Dusk. So that part was kind of neat. But for the most part, this is garbage. So you can go get stuff at your library to read. Sometimes it's not going to make you happy. Like this. So it's Easter. Happy Easter, everyone that does the Easter. If you don't do the Easter, you have a happy Sunday. Fiona, Sophie, thank you for coming over. We had Easter ham and mashed potatoes and ham gravy. People get wicked mad jealous because I can make ham gravy. I don't know. Drippings or drippings. I don't know why they don't figure that out. We had the asparagus. I made stuffed banana cream cheese French toast this morning. I remembered to put the dinner rolls in the oven. Currently, I have lemon bars in the oven that I have made a horrible mistake with the crust. So I have a contest going on with a friend of mine at work. She will definitely win. I don't see anyone choosing my monster lemon bars over those. That she probably followed the recipe correctly and didn't put 4 cups of sugar where it didn't belong, things like that. So in the meantime, as I always tell you, go find a place to get comic books, read comic books online. You can read comic books for free in lots of places. There's an online thing that connects to your local library that has lots of graphic novels you can read. You can go to your local library. Here in Kalamazoo, I go to Fanfare Comics. They'll give you a discount on new books, which is always nice because, as we discussed earlier, comic books are kind of pricey unless it's Mark Millar doing Nightclub. So until next week, I'll see you and go read a comic book.